Reporting from Arkham Asylum, this is Gotham Rogues. In this video we count down the 5 greatest Scarecrow costumes / designs. I've talked about this before, but Scarecrow has one of the greatest visual designs of any comic book villain. There's just something that's really cool about the image of a living Scarecrow. Kane has also sported many different looks over the years, as he's one of those characters who allows for a lot of creative freedom on the artist's part. Join me here as I take a look at my 5 favorites of the Scarecrow's numerous designs. And believe me, this list wasn't easy to make. Many great designs had to be left out. And as always, feel free to write your own favorites in the comments. Number 5. The Injustice 2 design. I still haven't actually played Injustice 2, which is a new DC fighting game in case someone didn't know, but I watched some videos and pictures, and I've gotta say I really like the look they gave Scarecrow. So this is how Jonathan actually looks in the game, as seen on the image before you. A meek guy in a dirty lab coat wearing a freaky Scarecrow-styled gas mask. This design is great in of itself, there's just something about that lab coat and the mask, plus the guy's posture. It makes him seem utterly deranged and really creepy. But of course, this is how the character looks when you're actually fighting. So what happens is, in a cutscene, Kane opens up a can of fear toxin, causing him to take on the form of this creature in the eye of the opponent. At first, when I saw pics of this design, I wasn't crazy about it, because I thought it's how he actually appeared, but when I realized it's just a hallucination, I loved it. This is basically what Jonathan wants to be, an inhuman boogeyman monster, and what a lot of people in Gotham probably see him as. It's such an interesting contrast to the scrawny lab rat that he actually is. Number 4. The Tim Sale design. So here we are again with a Tim Sale design. What can I say, I just love his artwork. He did a lot of great redesigns for the Batrogues in the Jeff Loeb pen stories Haunted Night, Long Halloween and Dark Victory, in which Kane appears in all of them. So this Scarecrow design is very unique, and we haven't really seen anything quite like it anywhere else. This Kane is inhumanly lanky and sports a black outfit as opposed to his regular brown ones, and his long hat is really over the top. The mask is also different than usual, plus I think this is the first time Scarecrow had hay as hair in the comics. This design for the character certainly isn't realistic, but realism was never Tim Sale's thing anyway. His Kane really does come off as something not human, like a supernatural boogeyman. We never once see Scarecrow unmasked in any of these stories either, so maybe he is a supernatural entity. Well, probably not, but I like the mystery. This look has also got a strong Tim Burton feel to it in my opinion, and if Kane had appeared in a Burton Batman movie, I'd imagine he'd look something kinda like this. Number 3. The Animated Series design. Ah, good old Taz. So many great designs, and Scarecrow's is definitely among them. I'm of course talking about the second look that Kane sported, as you can see on his picture, and not the costume he wore in the first episode, Nothing to Fear. That look was pretty bad in my opinion, but this one is fantastic. It's really the look that I grew up with, and as a kid, this is how I always pictured the character. I even had an action figure sporting this design. So what it is basically the standard classic costume from the comics, but with some modifications. The mask is a bit different and definitely creepier, with added teeth to it and mad hollowed eyes as opposed to just slits. Also the hay for the hair of course. Then he's got a red top instead of the usual brown, which is interesting. In my opinion, Taz took the classic Scarecrow design and actually upgraded it, making him look more unique. The old comic book costume was kinda generic actually, and he just looked like any common Scarecrow really, but Taz made the character into his own. This wasn't just any random Scarecrow, but the Scarecrow from Batman. Number 2. The Arkham Asylum design. The look Kane sported in the first entry of the Arkham video game series. I'm sure a lot of you love the Arkham Knight design, and I like that one too, but this is definitely my favorite, and one of the greatest looks the character has ever sported in my opinion. The thing about Scarecrow is, he's supposed to be scary, right? Well, sometimes he just looks goofy, but not in Arkham Asylum. In that game, he's truly creepy, with sickly grey skin, a hunched over posture, and the scariest mask he's ever worn. I love that it doubles as a gas mask in a really creative way, as as opposed to the boring Batman Begins style. The mouth on the mask looks great too. I really dig the stitches. It's kind of like an actual mouth, as it moves in an unrealistic fashion when he speaks. This is another mysterious boogeyman take on a character, and again we never saw him unmasked. The hood as opposed to a hat was a nice break from the old usual, as was the claw-like syringe glove, clearly inspired by Freddy Krueger. I remember when this game came out, the design for Crane really stood out to me, and it truly was a fresh take on a character. Nowadays some people perhaps forget that, but back then it was a pretty big deal. And now for the greatest Scarecrow design of them all. Number 1, the Dale Eaglesham design. Yeah, this one is really specific, as it only appeared in one single story, namely in the 4-parter Fear of Faith, set during No Man's Land, which also happens to be one of the greatest Scarecrow stories too. So I haven't read a whole lot of comics penciled by Dale Eaglesham, but I sure like his work here, especially on Crane naturally. This design is just like the Taz one, pretty much an altered take on the standard classic Scarecrow look. It kinda does resemble Taz a bit too. The mask and the hay hair is very reminiscent of the animated series design. He looks a lot scarier hair than in Taz though, and I love all the stitches on the mask, plus the sinister expression Eaglesham constantly gives the character. Where this design is really special is with Jonathan's outfit. He's wearing kind of a Scarecrow styled tails coat, as you can see, so it isn't the regular getup, but something we've never really seen anywhere else. It's a great look, and I vastly prefer it to the ordinary costume the character usually wears in the comics. Eaglesham also draws Crane as a very tall and imposing dude. I mean, he's still lanky, but at the same time of an intimidating stature. To me, this is the definitive Scarecrow design, as it's creepy and does something unique with the character, yet is still very much the classic Scarecrow. So there you have it. Those are the 5 greatest Scarecrow designs / costumes in my opinion. Let me know in the comments which ones are yours. And as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.